All right, this is big time. Got a real crappy story coming out of Atlanta that you probably haven't heard about, which is fucking disgusting. I actually even had to change the name of my. I had to actually change the name of the title of the video because apparently it was going to get taken down. The algorithm notices certain words you can and can't use. So it's actually going to be the thing I talk about last because it's a pretty long article. As always, Atlanta has two big stories. So the first one we'll cover. Media portrays Treehouse Antifa riot as mostly peaceful protests as they set police cars on fire. The only acts of violence against people that I saw were actually police tackling protesters. It's 2020 all over again. You know, you should be careful with CNN because if Antifa or BLM shows up at your place and then they burn your building down, you have yourselves to blame. That's not on me. On Saturday night, Antifa members took to the streets of Atlanta to throw rocks at and light fires outside of the Atlanta Police Foundation and set a police vehicle ablaze as figures in the media played down the violence. Left-wing writer David Pesner appeared on CNN and said, "I don't think that you keep using these words violent, 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 violent." And it gives the impression that I do think that you keep using these words violent, 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 violent. And it gives the impression that the only acts of violence against people that I saw were actually police tackling protesters.
I do think that, you keep using these words violent, 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 violent. And it gives the impression, the only violence or the only acts of violence against people that I saw were actually police tackling protesters.
I guess the police set their own car on fire too, right? The Antifa violence came after the now suspended Atlanta Forest Twitter account called for a night of rage following the fatal shooting of one of their members, 26-year-old Manuel Esteban Pastaran. I'm not sure how to say that name. Is this working? Can you hear me? Okay. Well, I think there's a real blurring of the lines in the use of the word violence. Is property destruction violence? To some people, it certainly is, Pesner added. CNN still bringing on dummies simping for Antifa and their violence.
Well, I think that there's a real blurring of the lines in the use of the word violence. Is property destruction violence? To some people, it certainly is. But, this idea that breaking windows or other acts of property destruction are the same as actual violence against humans it's kind of a dangerous and slippery concept. And look.
He didn't want to say slippery slope. Okay. I volunteer CNN's newsroom to be the first building to be destroyed by Antifa. You all need to leave your building, and when Antifa comes and sets your building on fire, like the Minneapolis 3rd Police Precinct, I don't want to hear you go on CNN and talk about it, okay? I don't want to hear you bitch about it.
I don't think this is a smart move. I don't think it's a productive move from the standpoint of the protesters. But as even the chief himself said, this is a small group. This is also within this Defend the Forest movement.
Did they mention that all the people they arrested, the Atlanta police arrested 6 people. They all had explosives on them. I wonder if the CNN guy says that. I wonder, and now are the police overcharging them? I don't know. What does explosives mean? Does explosives mean fireworks? See, I don't know, but they don't say that.
And there are no leaders, so people go off and do their own things. That doesn't just make them justifiable, but I do think that you keep using these words violent, 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 and it gives the impression. The only violence or the only acts of violence against people that I saw were actually police tackling protesters.
Yeah, that's right. It's the police. That's right, guys. It's the police fault. So he repeats the same thing. But this idea that breaking windows or other acts of property destruction are the same as actual violence against humans, it's kind of a dangerous and slippery concept. He meant to say slippery slope. ALX tweeted, "Don't worry, the media is calling it mostly peaceful again," along with a clip of a Fox 5 reporter using the phrases to describe the Antifa violence. So it was a largely peaceful protest where they just wanted what they're calling justice, the local news reporter said. And here's Fox 5. And now, even conservative right-wing Fox is a bunch of pussy faggots. I wonder, can I play it off here? No, we're not going to go to Twitter. The riots are happening in response to the death of 26-year-old Manuel Esteban Paz-Tarén, who was killed by police after he allegedly shot an officer who was part of an operation clearing out the Antifa-occupied autonomous zone dubbed Cop City, where the Antifa Police Department training facility is set to be built. The officer was taken to an intensive care unit and treated. Wow, so potentially they shot at a cop and they fired back, huh? Andy, no. My man. A white female arrested at the violent attack on the Antifa Police Foundation tries to pull a George Floyd by shouting, "I can't breathe," when she was standing. Far-left extremists gathered for a revenge riot over the shooting death of their gunman. Will this one play?
Are you okay?
Black cop. It's not racist.
Get out the street.
Got it? Will do.
I can't breathe. Fuck you guys.
I love video. In addition to smashing up businesses, cars, and the Atlanta Police Foundation, far-left extremists came with arson supplies to set an Atlanta police vehicle on fire. The riot was organized as revenge for their gunman dying in a shootout at the autonomous zone. Trying to create an autonomous zone? I heard they're trying to peacefully protest the clearing of the trees, that the land belongs to the Indians or something. Well, the Indians can build a casino if they want, I guess. They won't build a hospital or a rec center, but they'll build a casino, take your money.
Burning cop car. Got police with rifles. Yeah, I thought. Police with AR style rifles.
Well, look, if you're on, if you're on Antifa side of this, do you support giving up your guns? You seriously want the police to be the only people with guns? I don't know what happened. I'm just reporting a story out of a source I like. Okay, I would like to see body cam footage of the guy who was shot. That's what I want to see. I want to see the body cam footage. It's getting to the point where you can't trust the police either. There are good cops around where I am, but there are bad cops too. I'm from Philly. I've had run-ins with bad cops. I've been handcuffed and sat down. I've been hit before with batons. It's like, look, man. But if this is the case, if this is what happened, was this guy shot for shooting at police? Well, hey, bro, I don't know what to say. Were the police running a drug operation? Did you come upon the police killing a drug dealer and then you were a witness? Like, what happened? I would like more information. I'm just reporting this because I just think it's bullshit that the media even Fox News is fucking up. Jesus, bro. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' campaign rapid response coordinator Christina Pushaw pointed out the irony of CNN being headquartered in Atlanta. Doesn't CNN still have its headquarters in Atlanta? Maybe the terrorists are holding them hostage. Someone should check on them. That's pretty good. Yeah, okay, so that's what's happening in Atlanta. Again, I'll try to look into some more information of how that happened. But I have a bigger story I want to cover today. And again, if you're new to the channel, typically cover defensive gun uses. We're going to take a step forward and we're going to start covering mass shootings as well. Defensive gun use for today, though. And unfortunately, this is just going to be another point for revolvers. You know, I love revolvers, and you can poo-poo me all you want, but I'm going to play a situation where it looks like this guy is gun jammed, but we'll have to play it here.
Robert messed with the wrong business owner.
As 10 TV's Lindsay Mills reports, the owner of a gas station just outside Mount Sterling defended his business, and it was all caught on camera. It's video you'll see only on 10 TV.
I love people and I love my customer.
At this gas station store in Mount Sterling,
How you doing? Good, boss. How you doing?
Not bad.
every customer is greeted the same way.
See, you're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's still here after a scary ordeal. Raj Patel
All right, stop. Are they going to play the video or not? We're going to refresh. Hang on 1 second. First video I had was actually, there it is. See, show us the video. Damn. I'm trying to hide everything. Show us the video. Man. Nobody cares what you have to say. Show the video.
In a small Madison County village, say an armed robber messed with the wrong business owner.
As 10 TV's Lindsay Mills reports, the owner of a gas station just outside Mount Sterling defended his business, and it was all caught on camera. It's video you'll see only.
Raj Patel is patient for the land his business. Surveillance video
There we
shows his
go.
life. Surveillance video shows a man walk up to the counter inside the store. He leaves, then returns quickly with a gun. Patel puts the cap back on his drink and pulls out his own gun.
Wrong business owner.
As
Authorities say he's accused of a man walk
Go back now. Did you see the malfunction?
up to the counter inside.
This is another, unfortunately for me, not to say that this is just another point for me in a revolver. Okay.
Inside the store.
Watch.
He leaves, then returns quickly with a gun. Patel puts the
I give this guy nothing against this guy. I give this guy a lot of credit. It took a lot of balls to pull and to fire. This guy's braver than 99% of people I know. Might be braver than me. But look at what happens to the gun.
cap back on his drink and pulls out his own gun.
See right there? See that?
As the suspect
See?
runs away,
Bullet didn't clear. Or the bullet shell, the casing
drink
didn't
and
clear.
pulls out his own gun.
See? Now at this point, I hate Monday morning quarterbacking. Again, see? So this could have, if that guy had stayed and fired at this dude, he could have pulled the trigger and nothing would have happened. This could have got him killed. Again, this is why I like revolvers. Because if I pull the trigger and it doesn't fire, I pull the trigger again and the cylinder spins. This guy had it looks like a malfunction. So he's, you're lucky, man. That one bullet was enough. Again, what he did was very brave. This guy has stones. I'm not saying that, but we can't deny the fact that maybe he had shitty ammo. Maybe he doesn't. This is why maintenance of your gun is important. And this is why it's important to practice going to a gun range, firing, and developing the skill to clear a malfunction. Again, I know it's easy to sit here in Monday morning quarterback. Again, it's important, though. This is why training is important, because he doesn't clear it.
As the suspect
See, he points it, and you know that can get you killed. If that guy had stayed and opened fire at him, I don't think his trigger would have worked. You know.
runs away, he fires one shot, then calls police. Daniel Allen Collins Jr. was later arrested. Authorities say he's accused in at least 2 other robberies in another county. Patel said he had to defend the community he loves.
I love people and I love my customer. It's a great community, and I came from another country, but they teach me everything I need to learn from here.
And just ask anyone in town.
Everybody was talking about it, and everyone's reaction was the same, kind of like, you don't mess with Raj.
Becky Martin is the president of the Mount Sterling Chamber of Commerce, which Patel also serves on.
He's the epitome of a small business in a small community, and what you can do, to really support your friends and neighbors.
Boy, thank God he had a gun. Boy, thank God he was able to. Thank God he had a gun. The gun really saved his life. Boy, I think every business owner should go to the range and learn to carry. Boy, we should really encourage all the members of our community to defend themselves and rely on themselves and self-sufficiency. Boy, the police can't always be there. I fucking hate these people, man. Why can't, thank God he had a gun. Why can't they say that? Hey, fat woman, why is this guy you love so much alive? Because he had a gun, because it saved his life. He still needs to learn how to clear a malfunction, but Jesus. Any mention? Is there any mention of the gun that saved his life? Is there any mention?
Everyone's reaction was the same, kind of like, you don't mess with Raj.
Becky Martin is the president of the Mount
Why? Why don't you mess with Raj? What is he going to do to you?
Sterling Chamber of Commerce, which Patel also serves on.
He's the epitome of a small business in a small community, and what you can do, to really support your friends and neighbors.
Patel also donates to various organizations like the local community center and the library.
He's even the grand marshal of our parade, the 4th of July, one year, because he's that well respected in our community.
A community that Patel is proud to protect.
So I just wanted to teach him the lesson that robbing and stealing is not okay.
In Mount Sterling, Lindsay Mills.
Yeah, but God, the framing of this is so fucked up, man. You notice how you notice that if this guy had killed the Patel, they would be like, oh, we got to get rid of guns. Oh, the guns. But now when a member of their own community, oh, he's the salt of the earth. He's a pillar of our community.
Up to the counter in
nothing. Not a fucking peep about why he's still alive. I can tell you it's right there. It looks like a Glock. Looks like a Glock to me. No mention. Every small business owner shouldn't leave home without it. I hate the fucking news. I really do. Okay, I hate the fucking news. All right, now the last story. This is going to be tough. And I'm going to have to be careful because there's certain things I can't say. But this is a story that isn't being covered out of Atlanta. Atlanta's on fire. We investigated a suburban Rainbow Coalition pedophile ring. Here's what we found. So here are the two people who belong in a wood chipper. We're going to play the video and then we'll read the story.
They come in blazing with AK-47s or whatever.
How many people was it?
10, 15, a lot. They were doing like a drug bust or something.
Yeah, you can tell in Zach's mugshot that he has a big bruise on the left side of his face.
Yeah,
But
they slammed him against the floor in the foyer. He had bruises on his knees, his face.
But where's his white privilege? I thought the police use kid gloves when they deal with white people, especially the Rainbow Mafia, right? What? Oh, this is all wrong. Homemade cheese pizza. Homemade cheese pizza? No, I don't believe it. I'm so sick of this. And this isn't being covered. Why isn't this national fucking... Here it is. Hey, the left. Hey, Democrats. Look, it's two white guys. It's two white guys. This should be front page fucking news. But it's because of where they put their pee-pees. That's why it's not national news. And Town Hall, full respect. I bowed to you, Town Hall. Full respect.
They slammed him on the floor, and I hate to say this, but I don't sleep in clothes, so they rested me in my bed naked, put me in a cruiser with no clothes. I sat in the back of that cruiser from 11:30 to about 4 a.m. naked in the back seat of that cruiser while they searched our house for God knows what.
Yeah, that's right. You're the fucking victim. Man, if this is true, and they find him in court, prison, bro. Not only did the married man allegedly grape the two brothers who were adopted through a Christian special needs adoption agency. Get on the fucking wall. They were pimping out their children to nearby pedos in Atlanta area suburbs. Town Hall's follow-up investigation uncovered.
They seized the house, everything inside of it, and all of our cars on the property.
"17-year-old indicted charges the Zulauk co-defendants with soliciting 27-year-old Hunter Clay Lawless and 25-year-old Luis Armando Vercazo Sanchez to perform an act of prostitution with their adopted child." Again, now you got three white guys. This should be like Biden says that white people are terrorists, right? The ADL, oy vey, white people are leading the world in domestic terrorism, right? Here's three white guys. But it's because of where they put their pee-pee that you're not hearing this story. And I hate that I have to say it that way. Defend children. Is that a hard concept? Defend children. They can't defend themselves. The strong don't put others down. The strong lift them up, right? What did Jesus say? If any of you cause a child to turn from me, it would be better for you to hang a millstone from your neck and cast yourself into the sea. The original modern day, the original Dr. Seuss, huh?
I think they took our house because they think there was extra money coming in from somewhere, and we're like in our 30s and we have this big giant house, and they didn't think we could afford it.
Give him a trial, give him a lawyer, and then done, bro. Take him out back and hang him out of a fucking tree. I don't care. Enough. Why are we paying taxes on people like this? If this is true, this is alleged. If this is true, lawyer, due process, trial, and then just hang him, kill him. Done.
I mean, can I ask you, does this guy know you at all, or some random thing he's just trying to, rat somebody? I mean, can I ask you that, or?
So last time he was here, I told him something, and I told you last time he was here, I told him something. I wrote him down something, gave it to him. It's something around those lines, but more.
Me and Zach worked our butts off for everything we've had. And they called me out front again for fingerprints, and I saw the new charges that they're putting against, I'm assuming both of us.
Yeah, that's right. You're the victim. That's right. These guys are the victim, not the children that you committed cheese pizza with, right? That's right. You're the fucking victim. If this is all true, man, if it's true, I hope the parents come forward and everyone just leaves them alone and lets the parents do whatever they want to do to you.
There's 17 charges.
Holy shit, they might get RICO charges for cheese pizza.
I mean, are you worried about the boys? Of where they are? Or
I mean, yeah, but I definitely can't talk about that.
I don't want to say it, but brace yourself for the truth. Okay? Just don't give up, honest. You talk to Zach, tell him I still love him.
I can't put myself around other people. I just need somebody who doesn't hate us.
Why would people hate you? If this is all true, why do you think you don't deserve to be hated? The fucking ego. If this is true, if the cheese pizza charges are true, why do you think you don't deserve to be hated? It must be the pride. You know what they say, pride goeth before the fall. Jesus. Yeah, and that's the problem. There's the problem right there. 9 life sentences. No. Biblical, Old Testament. Make it and put it on TV. Judge, jury, due process, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And if it's true, no. Death. Shout out to the police. Shout out to the police. If the police weren't around, who would have done this? Are the police homophobic? Someone going to come in my comments and say the police are homophobic? Okay. So now we're going to read the story that for some reason just hasn't made national media. Again, I keep pointing this out, and I hate saying this. You got 3 white guys. This is like the ADL's dream, right? Oy vey. But because of their association with the Rainbow Coalition, you're not hearing this story on national news. So I'm going to talk about it. A months-long Town Hill investigation reveals disturbing new details about the affluent Rainbow community couple accused of, I'm not even sure I can say this on YouTube, so we're just going to say putting things where they don't belong. Now ages 9 and 11, distributing homemade cheese pizza of the sexual abuse. Half a year after the shocking story made national news, Town Hall is the only outlet following up on the criminal case in Georgia that has since seen 0 headlines written about it. We found that it's far, far worse than what was first reported. Not only did the married men allegedly Grape the two boys who were adopted through a Christian special needs adoption agency. They were pimping out their children to nearby pedos in Atlanta area suburbs. Town Hall's follow-up investigation discovered. Recorded jailhouse calls, a trove of never-before-seen court documents, and testimony from a family member who spoke exclusively with Town Hall uncovered the extent of the physical and emotional trauma the two elementary school-age brothers endured, as well as the red flags that the state overlooked during the same-sex couple's faster-than-expected adoption process. Yeah, that's right, because where you put your parts means you're somehow more qualified to be a father, right? Weak. It's been just over a year as their parents. We have loved every moment of it. Oh, I fucking bet you have. Was a little rough starting out, but we beat the 1 year mark. This was our second year to the ocean. Last year was the first time they've seen it. I just love how this picture turned out. Our little hashtag adoption family. Town Hall reported in August, the suspects were darlings of the LGBTQ media. They were part of an anti-gay hate campaign promoting hashtag No Hate and Out magazine, which holds the nation's highest circulation among LGBTQ monthly publications, has repeatedly asked them if website's Pride page can feature their photos taken at the Atlanta Pride Parade. The adoptive father is 33-year-old government worker William Dale Zulak, Jr., and 35-year-old banker Zachary Jacob Zulak, who were previously accused of raping a child from Oxford, Georgia, have been indicted by a grand jury on charges of incest, aggravated sodomy, aggravated child molestation, felony sexual exploitation of children, and felony prostitution of a minor. You both deserve the Russian Woods treatment. It's pissing me the fuck off. Hollow points. Hollow points until death. William and Zachary are each facing over 9 life sentences. They pleaded not guilty. William left and Zachary right. Here you go. Again, I keep saying this. Here are white people committing terrible crimes. This is what CNN and MSNBC salivate over. But they won't cover it. The ADL, Greenblatt, this is what he wants. But they're from a certain community. According to the copy of the 17-count indictment Town Hall has obtained, the adoptive dads allegedly performed oral sex on both boys, forced the children to perform oral sex on them, and sexually assaulted their sons. That Christian special needs agency should be shut down. You're not Christian. You're not real Christians. I'm giving them the no true Scotsman. In at least one instance, the anal grape injured the older Zulak child who just turned 11 years old mid-December. Court records indicate that the sexual child abuse stretches back to as early as late 2019 and intensified in January 2021, March 2021, and December 2021 as the offense dates are listed. The brothers were enrolled in 3rd and 4th grade, respectively, before the men were caught in a midnight July bust at the Zulak mansion, which ended with Zachary tackled to the ground and William hauled out of his house naked by armed officers. William admitted to forcing his 11-year-old adopted son to perform an act of sodomy, aka oral copulation, on him, with the intent to satisfy his own sexual desire, reads a sworn affidavit filed in support of William's overnight arrest back on July 27. Town Hall has redacted the children's names to protect the identities of the underage victims. An updated criminal affidavit says the child's sexual abuse was filmed by William's husband, Zachary, with whom he routinely engaged in sexually abusive acts on the boy. Zachary, the household's breadwinner, confessed to being the cameraman, and authorities allegedly found a folder on his cell phone labeled Us that contained videos of William sexually abusing the child. Sexual exploitation of children, felony. The indictment also charged the Zulaw co-defendants with soliciting 2 other men through the use of popular social media platforms in the greater Atlanta metropolitan region to perform an act of prostitution with their children that suffered physical injuries from being brutally raped. Town Hall is the first to publicly identify these 2 alleged members of a pedophile ring in the heart of the Peach State, 27-year-old Hunter Clay Lawless and 25-year-old Luis Armando I don't care. You should be thrown in a wood chipper if this is all true. All 4 of you. And we should watch your body be sucked down. We should watch your hands as you hold on and as you feel your toes and feet being ripped off your body. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of people like this. And you're allowed to live. Lawless, who snitched on the Zulocks. But I thought you guys, pride goeth before the fall, bro. Pride is a sin. Lawless, who snitched on the Zulocks, told local law enforcement he received numerous messages via Snapchat from Zachary about effing his son tonight and to be prepared to receive images as well as videos of the father raping his adopted child. Zachary met Lawless through a mutual contact, an unidentified man going by the first name Blake on the gay dating app Grindr. Following the virtual introduction, Zachary sent photographs and videos to Lawless of a little boy he referred to as his son. I'm going to F my son tonight. Stand by. Zachary allegedly messaged Lawless on Snapchat and then sent pictures of himself sexually abusing his 11-year-old child. After he was busted, Lawless denied having any physical contact with the Zulaw boys, but told law enforcement officers that Zachary invited him multiple times in sexual acts with him and his 2 children. A list of the state's evidence includes 149 images collected at the Zulaw home, 2 flash drives containing Zachary and Lawless's phone data, sexual assault nurse examination results from the children's medical forensic exams, which gathered DNA evidence such as bodily fluids and documented injuries, a text message from Lawless, a Snapchat letter, 2 written letters from the older Zulaw child, and a disc containing a data dump from Vizcarro Sanchez's iPad and iPhone. So you can't even look at cheese pizza on a different phone. You're that fucking stupid. You can't even buy a burner. You can't even go to the store, buy a burner phone with cash, and then use a separate phone from your home phone. A photo of a daddy shirt is also an evidentiary item listed by the district attorney's office. Police have found clothes in the older Zulaw children's bedroom that match the clothing the boy was wearing in the photos and videos Zachary allegedly sent Lawless. Years ago, Zachary had proudly displayed a child-sized "So Cool Like Dad" t-shirt he received as a gift at his adoption shower. The relative on Zachary's side of the family, who agreed to speak with Town Hall on the condition of anonymity, grilled Zachary during a series of recorded phone call conversations in the fall of 2022 on who exactly Lawless is and how he knows the suspect. I mean, like I said, not everything that being said is accurate or true. So I'm trying not to lose everything. Zachary, who's being held separately from William while in pretrial detainment, replied, "Right, they're doing that so they can't get their story straight." Zachary was transferred to Barrow County Detention Center and placed under maximum security due to the nature of his charges, a jail staffer told Town Hall. Zachary Zulak's mugshot taken upon transfer. Oh, looks like they might have busted him in the face. Wasn't enough. If it's allegedly, it's all alleged, right? Does this guy Lawless know you at all? Or is it some random thing? He's just trying to rat somebody? The relative asked. So last time he was here, I told him something. This sounds like an admission of guilt to me. And I told you, last time he was here, I wrote him down something and gave it to him. It's something around those lines, but more, Zachary responded vaguely. Well, that's rather nebulous, without explaining further. Zachary insisted on a separate phone call. All I can say is, it's not all true. It's not all true. Yeah, see? It's an admission of guilt. I need someone in the family who doesn't hate me. So, I mean, I can't tell you what to feel, or I can't cry right now around other people. Zachary pleaded in lockup, audibly starting to sob on the phone. I just need somebody who doesn't hate us. Do you think the children you did this to hate you? There's a special place in hell for people like this. I hope hell exists, and I hope you go there. And I have no problem if somebody like me or other people, after you're proven guilty, after court, after due process, after a lawyer, after a trial, I have no problem with someone, with us sending you there. It doesn't bother me. There is a certain line in society, I believe, in the penalty of death. There's a certain line in the sand, and this crosses it. Just don't forget me, Zachary beseeched the relative at the end of their first call in September. Zachary began frantically searching for Lawless's profile on Facebook last January, the relative who had access to his social media accounts observed. Over on Snapchat, Zachary has active, unopened chats with multiple men, according to the source. This is how stupid. Yeah, they brag about it. Let's see what they say. Zachary, who lists his Snapchat username in his Instagram bio, where the self-described activist brags about being Papa to our 2 wonderful boys, admitted to sending such material to less than a dozen people. There are other potential co-defendants under investigation that are out there circulating videos of the Zulak boys. Alcovey Judicial Circuit District Attorney Randy McGinley, who serves Walton County, told the court at a September 7th bond hearing, according to a transcript provided to Town Hall. They just view underage boys as sex objects, McGinley said of the Zulak co-defendants at the virtual court appearance. Raid and seizure. Since the Zulaks have been taken into custody, the married men's assets have been seized, their vehicles have been forfeited, and their home is now the property of the state, with a lien filled against it. The Zulaks couple's criminal defense attorney Johnny Howdy said in court, adding that a sign in the Zulak house says, "Do not enter property of the Walton County Sheriff's Office." Let's hear how they're the victims. It's BS that they took our house. A frustrated William, stuck in Walton County Jail, protested via an hour-long phone call with the Zulak family insider. They seized the house, everything inside of it, all of our cars on the property, William said of the seizure. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. That might be overreach, but again, they might have seized the house because maybe that's where you did if that's where you're committing all your acts against children, then the house is essentially evidence, right? That evidence thing, active investigation, goes very far. William recounted the night of the armed raid on the Zulak residence. They came in 11:30 at night. I was asleep. Zach was asleep. They were going to bust down our door if Zach didn't open the door, the relative asked. They ran the door down. They were about to, but Zach heard them knocking. Oh, just like Breonna Taylor. And he actually went and opened the door. They slammed him on the floor. And I hate to say this, but William paused momentarily, chuckling in a lowered voice. I don't sleep in clothes, he said. So they arrested me in my bed naked, William complained, and they walked me across my front yard, put me in a police cruiser with no clothes. They wouldn't even let me get gym shorts or anything. William added that he sat stark naked in the backseat of the patrol car until at 4 a.m. the following morning, while they searched our house for God knows what. Oh, were you naked in front of your 2 kids too? Hang on. So here he is naked on the beach. Hang on. Wait a second. There's a picture of them at the beach. Okay. I don't know if that's, I don't know if he was naked I don't know the timeline of those pictures. But judging by how these guys seem to be acting, not hiding anything, I wouldn't be surprised. Seeing that you can tell in Zach's mugshot that he had a big bruise on the left side of his face, the family member said. Yeah, because they slammed him against the floor in the foyer. He had bruises on his knees, his face. They came in blazing with AK-47s or whatever. They were doing like a drug bust or something because they came in screaming and hollering and overkill, William whined. I'm pretty sure they ransacked the whole house. I think they took our house because they think there was extra money coming in from somewhere, and we're like in our 30s and having this big giant house, and they didn't think we could afford it. Yeah, that's right. You're the victim. That's right. This was just random, right? Not to say that doesn't happen, not to say police don't make mistakes, but again, they're the victim all the time. Like, they cry out as they strike you. Isn't that hilarious? The couple's dream home sits on a 2-acre secluded cul-de-sac in a private, prestigious, upscale neighborhood where pre-existing houses are selling for as much as $900,000. Construction of the mansion from the ground up took only a half a year in 2020. The kids love the forest behind us and the playroom for all their toys, William wrote in a post celebrating its completion. Beforehand, the Zulocks lived out of a small house in Snellville, which neighbors Loganville at the time the boys were adopted. The couple's lavish lifestyle began to materialize about a year after the Zulock men got the boys, the Family Insider told Town Hall. In addition to the Zulocks considering purchasing the adjacent property, Zachary told friends they were looking to buy a condo over the next few years somewhere in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach along the southern tip of Alabama's white sand coastline. Getting ideas for our next house, William had cheekily captioned a picture taken in North Carolina outside of the Biltmore Estate, a 250-room, 8,000-acre castle that is considered America's largest home and belongs to the industrialist Vanderbilt family. William went on to accuse Walton County law enforcement officials of spinning some lies to seize our house, asserting, "I've come to find out that most of these police officers in this county smudge and lie just so they can get a higher conviction rate. Me and Zach worked our butts off for everything we had," William later declared. I'm not making any jokes with that. I'm too pissed off. DA McGinley explained in an email to Town Hall that his office had filed a civil complaint seeking to forfeit the Zulock property. "Forfeitures are a civil proceeding but handled by my office," McGinley wrote. In response, the Zulocks filed an answer, and then McGinley's office filed a motion for a more definitive statement, which states that the answer was insufficient under the law. The two Zulock men were both denied bond when Judge Foster determined that the co-defendants are threats to children in the community, flight risks, at risk to commit new felony offenses, and could intimidate and influence witnesses or victims. Yeah, children. You don't want to hurt Daddy. You don't want Daddy to go away forever, do you? Those men hate Daddy. They hate Daddy and our other Daddy. You don't want Daddy and other Daddy to go away forever, do you? Don't testify against us. Otherwise, we won't love you anymore. That was a sack of bricks that was dropped on everybody at the bond hearing, William commented to the relative. Inside the gayest place in town. Nestled within a suburban paradise, the Zulock mansion turned House of Horrors had surveillance cameras installed in every square foot of the property, the family member told Town Hall. There was also a secret windowless room the size of a closet without any doors, hidden behind a movable bookcase in the home office that the cops left open, which felt like something out of a horror movie, the relative said. Another creepy interior room devoid of windows was purportedly used as a home theater. Oh, look, love is love. LGBTQ pride paraphernalia littered the family's extravagantly furnished 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom house, plus a packed 3-car garage, including a rainbow Mickey Mouse stuffed animal placed atop a love above all pillow on the foyer's love seat, where Zachary was swarmed by the SWAT team and a neon love is love sign that adorned the kitchen's granite countertop. The lamp's pro-inclusivity phrase, a mainstream LGBTQ mantra that self-styled minor attracted persons have co-opted in a rebranding campaign that attempts to normalize sexual attraction to children, is one Zachary frequently promoted online. Good for you, Town Hall. It's okay if you're not ready yet. Wow. The Zulocks own a collection of exotic pets, including a gopher tortoise, which Georgia recognizes as a protected species in violation of state law, according to a ticket issued by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. In the interest of judicial economy, the state moved to dismiss the citation, giving the alarming lot of life sentences the Zulock co-defenses are facing. Zachary, a Biden voter and ardent Black Lives Matter advocate who championed left-wing causes on Facebook, also often posted images of the house's exterior where a welcome mat emblazoned with "gayest place in town" sat at the front door. It's not helping your case, bro. Our business is our business. What happens in our home stays in our home, the gay couple allegedly told their abused sons. I'm going to rage out, I swear to God. Beyond the child sexual abuse as punishment during after school hours, the Zulauk boys were forced to stand in a corner for 8 hours straight over back to back days, only being allowed to move to either eat or use the bathroom. William was also witnessed slapping their younger son hard in the face. They were just abused every possible way, the relative told Town Hall. The relative asked Zachary if he's worried about the two boys and wondering where his sons are. I mean, yeah, but I definitely can't talk about that. But, I mean, yeah. And then I'm concerned about the house and everything because, nothing's being paid, obviously, because I'm here. The longer things that go on, the worse all that gets. The sooner we get out, the sooner I can manage our finances because things are going to start piling up. William is concerned as well about bills and monthly expenses. We do have like subscription stuff that needs to be canceled, like talking about Disney and Amazon and not the fucking kids, not your fucking victims. I guess that makes sense. You think it's all about you. All that needs to be canceled because it's auto hitting our credit card. The boys were just another commodity to them, the family member voiced to Town Hall. Zachary seemed like an animated people pleaser with a penchant for self-promotion. Now the case has destroyed the illusion of who I thought he was, the family member said. What a narcissistic sociopath. Another relative conveyed to Town Hall's insider that Zachary's overachieving persona was nothing more than a facade to portray a public image of success, while the once blue-haired William, who was quiet and hard to read one, always made my skin fucking crawl. The family is questioning, in hindsight, how a low-level civil servant and a small-town bank teller could indulge in such niceties. After an application was submitted for representation by a public defender, a letter addressed to William shows that the county's indigent defense program found he is ineligible, citing equity ownership and his spouse's whopping $7,500 a week income. Follow the money. These guys are such fucking amateurs, man. I mean, I'm not surprised. A similar denial memo was also sent to Zachary, who handles their money, pointing to his supposed well-to-do weekly earnings. According to Zachary's since-deleted LinkedIn page, he was a branch coordinator at the SunTrust Bank in Duluth, a career he touts on Pride-themed T-shirts. But the latest Glassdoor data says the position only carries a modest $62,000 in annual pay. Oh, I mean, that's still pretty decent to me. Town Hall contacted the site's bank supervisor to confirm whether or not if Zachary is still employed and truly raking in a six-figure salary. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to make any comments, the on-duty manager stated over the phone. We can't verify any information in regards to Zachary's current employment at the SunTrust branch or how much he makes, the manager said. Well, that'll change when the court comes forward with the summons. Don't worry, that'll all fucking change. Zachary took vacation time using leftover PTO for the first week or two in jail. Then he tried to place himself on a leave of absence, but management wouldn't hear his plight. I'm pretty sure I don't work there anymore, which is fine because I didn't like it anyway. So it's whatever. But I'm pretty sure I don't have a job anymore. Zachary, oh, of course he has a mask. Of course. Back when Zachary was a universal bank specialist at PNC Bank, he and William marched yearly in the Atlanta Pride Parade carrying rainbow Born This Way pride flags and sporting orange PNC shirts made by the Financial Services Corporation, a corporate partner and sponsor of the annual event. The mail order partners also participated in This Diseases Walk Atlanta year after year. Ah, yes. Yes, I do agree. You are born this way. I agree. Meanwhile, William worked as a supervisor at the county's Georgia Department of Driver Services Customer Service Center, customer service off on Heritage Parkway, where he often assisted teenage student drivers who were seeking to obtain their learner's permit or driver's license. Prior to hiring, all DDS personnel underwent a background check, which included a criminal history report. Well, I mean, you're not a criminal to the first time you commit a crime, right? I don't want to do Minority Report. Town Hall called DDS headquarters to inquire about Williams' employment status. We don't give that information out over the phone, the Office of Investigation told Town Hall. I won't be able to give you any personal information about the employee. The only money we had coming in is my paycheck and Zach's paycheck, William maintained. And then we never told anybody because it wasn't anybody's business, but we get child support for the kids from the state, he revealed to the relative. Oh, you still get child support from the state? The family member asked. Until they're 18, he replied. I didn't know what happened after they were adopted. I didn't know that happened after they were adopted, the relative stated. William, laughing, said, I didn't know that either until we adopted them. When questioned about the legal defense paperwork, William countered, that's something they pulled off on their rear end. Did you mean the information on the finances or what they said in the bond hearing? The family member asked William. Probably about the finances and what Zach makes, William answered, not outright denying what was alleged in the courtroom. All right. So that's enough for today. That makes me fucking sick. So we're going to cover part 2 tomorrow. It's a 4-part series, and we're going to talk about every single goddamn part of it. So anyway, I'm Big Time. Tune in tomorrow.